Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a massive leap forward in how we work with artificial intelligence. We're going to upgrade your skills from just casually, chatting with an AI model to actually compiling structured, actionable instructions. Look, if you're a senior quality assurance engineer and you're exhausted from spending more time rewriting AI-generated fluff than you would have spent just writing the code yourself, well, this is your masterclass. We're going to look at exactly how precision prompting shifts your entire workflow from generating useless prose to pumping out dev-ready test cases, flawless JSON test data, and highly structured bug reports.
Okay, let's dive into this with the fundamental truth that sets the stage for everything we're covering today. The AI model itself, it isn't the magic bullet. It's really just an engine. The prompt is the lever that determines whether that engine actually saves you time or completely wastes it. So often we get this generic junk back from a model, and we immediately blame the AI, right? We say, oh, it's just not smart enough yet. But the reality is, the AI is literally only as precise as the instructions you feed it.
To prove this, we're going to run through a continuous, real-world case study. Here's our starting scenario, the classic SauceDemo login page. Imagine you're sitting at your desk, and your product manager just fired off this super basic requirement to you. Users log in with username and password, lock them out after too many attempts. Standard stuff, right? Well, your job as the automation engineer is to translate that brief PM spec into 3 distinct deliverables: test cases, a JSON test data file, and eventually a dev-ready bug report. But let's look at what usually happens on a first attempt. You type in write tests for the SauceDemo login page, and the output, well, it's exactly the pain point I was just talking about. You get these incredibly generic test cases that could apply to literally any login page on the internet. It completely misses the 5-attempt lockout rule that your PM explicitly asked for. It fails to reference actual SauceDemo users, like standard_user or locked-out user. And to top it all off, it just hands you this giant block of text that requires at least 20 minutes of manual data entry just to format it correctly for Jira. You've essentially just created more work for yourself. Now, contrast that lazy input with a highly structured, engineering-minded approach. Instead of vague conversational requests, we're going to use structured constraints and explicit XML tags. We are no longer treating the AI like an intern we're casually chatting with. We are treating it like a machine we are programming. By doing this, we're boxing the AI in, completely removing its ability to hallucinate or be vague.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the result of treating your prompt like compiler instructions. Because we constrained the AI, it returned a perfectly formatted markdown table. It includes the actual usernames. It includes the exact expected error messages, like epic sad face, username and password do not match. This isn't just prose you have to reread and translate. This is a finished artifact that drops directly into your test management tool. So how exactly did we achieve that? We applied 5 specific principles that act as our compiler instructions. First up, we assigned a role. You are a QA automation engineer. That sets the domain perfectly. Second, context. We injected the specific usernames and passwords the AI actually needed to know. Third, scope. Instead of just saying, cover everything, we explicitly commanded it to generate exactly 4 test scenarios, no more, no less. Fourth is format. We demanded a markdown table with specific, named columns. And finally, the 5th principle, we used XML tags to cleanly separate the PM's requirement from the tasks we wanted the AI to perform. Claude, and really all the other major models, read that XML structure beautifully.
Transitioning over to our second deliverable, executable test data. A basic request for test data yields utterly useless text that just says something like, use a valid username and invalid password. Gee, thanks. But with a precision prompt, we specify that the output must only be a valid JSON array with exact key names, username, password, and expected status, and we explicitly command no explanations. The output is flawless. You get a clean JSON array that you can literally copy and drop directly into your Playwright fixtures file. So the crucial point is this. If there is one golden rule you take away from this entire explainer today, it's that constraining the output format generates executable code instead of useless prose. This is absolutely the foundation of prompt engineering for QA. If you leave the format open to interpretation, the AI will always default to writing chatty paragraphs. If you constrain it, demanding JSON, Markdown, or CSV, you force it to act like an actual engineering tool.
And this brilliantly illustrates our third demo, using this exact formatting principle to turn AI into an automated triage pipeline. Imagine you run your Playwright test suite. It fails, and it spits out a raw, messy timeout error trace log right in your terminal. By taking that raw log and feeding it into a structured XML prompt, the AI funnels it down into a pristine, dev-ready Jira bug report. It pulls out the environment, isolates the exact steps to reproduce, and clearly defines the expected versus actual results. And you didn't have to write a single word of that ticket yourself. It's a game changer.
Of course, let's be real. It's not always magic, and things definitely do go wrong. So let's pivot to the pitfalls. If you want to integrate this reliably into your daily work, you have to recognize when you're doing it wrong. There are 5 specific prompt anti-patterns that consistently derail automation workflows and caused QA teams hours of wasted effort. Let's break them down real quick.
Trap number 1 is vague scope, asking it to simply write tests instead of declaring exactly how many scenarios you need. Second is missing values, omitting the actual URLs or app-specific error messages, which basically just leaves the AI guessing. Third is no format, which, as we know, means you're accepting useless paragraphs of text. Fourth is the giant prompt, trying to ask for the test cases, the JSON data, and the bug report all in one massive paragraph, instead of chaining them step by step. But the absolute most dangerous anti-pattern here? Blind trust. If you just copy-paste without reading the output, you might actually approve an AI-generated test expecting the locked-out user to successfully log in. Remember, the AI can be a brilliant compiler, but you are still the engineer verifying the logic.
Let's move to and see how this builds at the highest levels of a QA organization. Because at the architect level, prompt engineering graduates from being just an individual skill to actual process design. You definitely don't want engineers writing their own prompts from scratch every single day. Instead, you create standardized prompt templates for your team wiki, ensuring every Jira ticket has a perfectly consistent output format. You can even take your prompts and embed them as code in a Claude.md repository file, passing your project conventions directly into the AI to enable automated first-pass pull request reviews. The prompts literally become an integrated part of your infrastructure.
As we wrap up, I want to leave you with one lingering, powerful thought. Over the last few minutes, we've gone from useless, generic paragraphs to flawless markdown tables, executable JSON fixtures, and dev-ready bug reports. But remember, the AI model itself remained completely identical throughout this entire explainer. The only thing that changed was the quality of your input. The prompt is the skill. Master the prompt, and you absolutely master the automation. So I'll leave you with this. How many hours of your sprint are you wasting right now simply because you're still treating your AI like a chatbot instead of a compiler? It's time to start compiling. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the next explainer.